Yeah, what's good, cryptocurrency fans out there? Welcome back to the Everything Altcoin channel. Today, we're going to be talking about robotics becoming the biggest AI trade that people are probably going to miss out on because they have no patience in waiting through the bear market, holding these altcoins on the low. So we're going to talk about everything that is happening right now that you're probably missing out on the news. And as you guys know, what happens on traditional markets usually relays back to the crypto markets. We've seen this multiple times, and the convergence is going to happen at some point in time where we're fully implemented with the traditional markets, especially now with Robinhood on chain here. So let's continue on. Let's get right into the whole topic of things here. So the advancements of robotics right now is happening in our faces. We just aren't paying, well, I'm not gonna say we, I'm gonna say a lot of people aren't paying attention, because you guys know I'm always paying attention here. I believe that going into the next bull market, we have the opportunity to possibly make some crazy gains, generational gains, betting on robotics here. As you guys can see, a new model from Claude, from Anthropic, came out, which is going to be their Opus 5, right? You're seeing that Jay Cooley, who is a benchmarking at RoboCurve here, has given these robotic arms Opus 5 as a model, right? So now Opus 5 on these robotics can complete simple tasks in the real world. As these models get better, the robotics get better as well. Not only that, we've seen Ford partnered with Apple to power its new self-driving features in the next generation of electric vehicles. Big moves are happening. Apple is diving into the self-driving cars. Now, if you guys don't know, robotics, the whole robotics narrative isn't just humanoids. It's physical AI as a whole. Waymo ended their partnership with Uber to go launch independently in Austin and Atlanta, right? Uber is going to be still doing their robo-taxi. This is going to be their best business model as well. They still have Lucid. Now, this is interesting here. I want to start this from the beginning, this video here, because we're starting to see the concept of modular retail stores. This means pretty much just these small little shops that is just being opened around the corner and things like that, that is going to be ran by your humanoid. So you can see this, Ronald put out this tweet: modular retail store where humanoid robots serve coffee, ice cream, and chat with customers. I don't know the chat part, but essentially they're going to be doing some of these things, like, you know, the ice cream truck. You guys remember the song, driving around the neighborhood, get all the kids running out to get their ice cream and things like that. You could have that right there 24/7. You're gonna have it for adults with their coffee. You're gonna have ice cream for the kids. Like, it sounds far away, but a lot of this is right now being built. We've seen how fast we went from 2020 and that whole CV19 to 2025, where we're even getting closer to the concept of talking about humanoids. That just lets you know we're getting closer and closer, and the technology is speeding up the rate of how these things are starting to move in IRL. Ronald also put out this tweet where in Shanghai, McDonald's has deployed humanoid robots to serve customers. We knew this was going to be a thing. There's a stock company called Serve that also has been invested into this exact thing here. So we're about to see a big shift happening. This is why I'm pretty bullish on the narrative of robotics, because this is the biggest technological shift in human history, where we're going to have technology physical technology operating side by side with us, right? This is unseen as of right now. This is crazy. And to fade that biggest technological shift, you're going to sound crazy, even if you're just betting on the traditional side of things, right? Like traditional stocks. While we're betting on the crypto stocks, I believe there will be a convergence. Like you're seeing a robot pick berries here, man. There's so many jobs that's going to be disrupted because of humanoids, and new jobs is going to be created because of humanoids. So this whole thing is getting very interesting to see how this is going to play out, which is why I'm so bullish on it. And you guys know I've been talking a lot about all of this that's happening. Now, Cybernetics Lab put out this tweet: robotics missed out on scaling laws that reshape language and vision. The bottleneck is data. High quality robot data is brutally expensive to collect, and that scarcity capped how far policy model scale, right? You can see Yao Ming Robotics 1 goes after exactly that problem here. So essentially, what is the biggest bottleneck for humanoids, robots? It's data, collecting data. So what can we target with that? Projects that are going to be collecting data to, to offer to these humanoid companies, which now leads me to the tweet that Leo has put out called the Robotics Deep Dive, the data flywheel myth, right? The investment case for humanoids is a loop. Deploy robots, collect data, train better models, sell more robots. Crane Shares wrote it down in May. The companies is accumulating the most embodied training data through deployed fleets and have self-reinforcing advantages that will compound. Now he does give examples in this tweet pretty much on how the data flywheel is working right now. Self-driving fleets got better by driving and reinforcing that whole flywheel here. You guys can see 100 robots at a station, 20 hours a day, 365 days, 730,000 robot hours, roughly 45 times the entire public corpus of real non-duplicated robot manipulation data. I counted on Hugging Face last week, which Hugging Face got hacked, which is crazy, but you guys can read into it. He breaks it down a little bit. I just want to get into this. Data helps. The convergence from fleet hours to manipulation capability is unproven step. The deployment generating the most hours looks like the ones generating the least new information. So he's basically saying that the data flywheel has some some flaws to it, right? And he puts the graphic out there. So this is a whole conversation that is from people that are really into this whole robotics conversation as of right now. But you guys know me, we're going to be here tying this into the whole robotics narrative here on chain. So before we get into all of that, I would like to ask you guys, subscribe to the channel if you guys haven't already. We're on the road to 30K subscribers. If you guys would like to help out with that, hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to like the video, comment what you guys think down below, and while you guys are down there, you guys can hit that Discord link to join the Discord to continue the crypto conversation we're having daily. And you guys can ask your question on how does that Patreon group works. As you guys know, we have been killing the Robinhood trade, a bunch of microcaps that we've been trading and flipping. You guys can see the post directly on Patreon, see the entry point, see where it was at one point in time. Of course, the prices change day to day and things like that, but the thing is, I'm not the only one calling bangers in this group here. There's a lot of people that's doing their own DD and helping out the group win as a whole. And lastly, you're not only just getting a solid crypto community here, you're also getting the best central intelligence in crypto with the altcoin chasers HQ. You guys can use the HQ to track smart money, wells, prediction markets, perp exchanges, right? Everything you need in one place is at the HQ here. And you guys can watch the video on how it works. We will be putting an updated video on that as well. And then guys, you guys can use, if you guys want to sign up directly for Patreon, which gives you access to the community, you guys can use Aside 2026 to get 40% off your first month to test out the group. But if you guys do not want to sign up for the Patreon to get access to the community, and you guys just want access to the terminal, you guys can go directly on the website, hit pricing, and it will bring you all the way down to where you guys can see the pricing here, and you guys can try a 1-day free trial of the entire HQ, all the features for 1 day. Test it out. I know you're going to like it. You're going to see the benefits of it, of course, right? So you guys go and do that. Links will be in the description down below, and let's continue on with the video. Now, you guys know I use the HQ every single day. Any thesis I have, anything I want to build out a thesis around, I go conversate with Asai here just to get some thoughts about it, some perspective on it, do a little deeper dive here. So what is the thesis on robotics being the next biggest AI trade for the next crypto bull market? The robotics thesis is the strongest secular AI times crypto trade I see right now, and I'll tell you exactly why. Why robotics? Why now? 3 things have to be true for this thesis to stick. The tech works, the money is moving, there's a crypto native angle that's not just AI coin in disguise. Robotics hits all 3 in 2026. The capital formation is undeniable. A16Z/PitchBook tracked $16 billion deployed across 455 robotics deal in Q1 of 2026 alone, an all-time high. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. Skilled AI raised $1.4 billion in a single round. Neural Robotics Series C hit $1.4 billion with Tether, Amazon, Nvidia, Qualcomm, and Bosch all writing checks. Goldman Sachs revised its 2035 humanoid market projection upwards to $228 billion to $416 billion. This isn't just VC tourism anymore. It is a structural reallocation of capital away from AI chatbots towards AI that moves atoms. Neural's order book is already over $1 billion. Agility Robotics filed for public listing at $2.5 billion. Pure play. Robotics IPOs in the second half of 2026 to 2027 are now the consensus timeline. So you guys can see things is moving up. More robotics is going to be IPOing in the second half of 2026, going into 2027. What does that do? That now becomes catalyst for the robotics trade in crypto. The technological inflection is real and backed by hard numbers. Nvidia's Isaac Group reference humanoid Unitree H2 plus body plus sharper hands and Jensen Thor brain shipped to standard. ETH Zurich UCSD and AI2 with sales starting late 2026. A little bit more is happening. This is all just talking about everything that is happening right now and how they want the TAM to happen. McKinsey November 2025 report says 57% of US work hours are now technically automatable, right? that's crazy. Up to 30% 2 years ago. The compute substrate is the same crypto AI projects already pricing in, right? So the 3-phase roadmap that gives you this legs. Phase 1, 2025 to 2027. Narrow robots for well-defined tasks, warehouse, simple chores, coffee, limited ability, but real revenue and real customers. That's the key, real revenue and real customers. Then you got phase 2, which is going to be late 2026, where we're heading to right now, and then all the way into 2028 here, right? That is pretty much the bull market, and that's the exciting part, right? We're positioned right now for the next bull market when it comes down to robotics. This is the best time to pick these plays up, right? The data flywheel hits velocity, more deployment, more data, fewer failures, bigger roll. This is the Moavic curve bending, not breaking. Aptronics Apollo 2 with Gemini Robotics, AGI bot, 6-day continuous factory live stream, 1x World Model Lab. These are data flywheels spinning up right now, guys. 2028, new tasks need only 5 minutes of demonstration. Foundation models for robotics hit robust and TAM explodes from warehouse to everything physical. Now, this is what we are here for. Where crypto actually fits into this whole dynamic, because if we pinpoint where crypto hits, where crypto fits into the robotics AI trade, I promise you there will be a lot of millionaires made if they pick the right altcoins. That's the key part, picking the right altcoins for generational wealth. It's going to be hard to do so, but we're going to look at the ones that are building, right? We're going to continue to just spot, and hopefully we hit the 1 or 2, right? That's all we need, 1 or 2. Me personally, that's all I need, really. This is where AI times crypto pitch dies. The trade isn't buy a robotics company coin. It's 3 structural angles. Machine economy rails. Robots need to pay for their own compute, electricity, data. Robots paying for things autonomously. And stablecoins is a real product surface now. So, OpenMind, Fabric Protocol, Robo demoed a robot autonomously paying for its electricity bill in USDC. peaq, the layer 1 for machine economy with robotics SDK that turns humanoids into on-chain economic agents. This is real world validation. Also, we talked about this. That whole on-chain economic agents, that was a partnership with Virtuals. They also got a partnership with Robo. A lot of things is crazy is happening right now, and we're starting to see some good partnerships here. I'm excited. Number 2, decentralized motion data, teleop, right? Humanoid robots need massive amounts of human demonstration data, right? That's the key. What that means is essentially they need data on videos of people doing, mundane tasks, right? That is your everyday chores, picking up a cup, washing dishes, whatever it may be, just a mundane task that humans do, right? That can also fit right into the humanoids, right? Once the humanoids are able to be trained on that data, they can also do that same task, right? So this is where now you get Prisma X AI. I told you guys, whenever I talk about robotics plays, I talk about BitRobot, Prisma X AI, because those aren't out just yet, so people don't even really know about them just yet. Obviously, you know me, I know about them, right? A16Z backed with $1 million. Does human teleop for motion data. Reborn AGI runs RoboCap hardware for crowdsource capture. Crypto coordinates the contributor economy, settles in micropayments for data, and tokenizes IP. DePi, which is your decentralized physical AI, is becoming a real category with real funding. Now, I'm pretty sure some of these companies and projects may pay you to do videos and send them in to help train the data, to help train these humanoids, right, with that data. So that's possibly a thing here right now. Number 3, Robotics DAO. We already know what that is. And pre-IPO exposure. Ex Machina, right? This is your robotics capital markets. Is a robotics DAO incubated by peaq, already on its 7th portfolio allocation of $540,000 into Genki Robotics' first Japan deal. Tokenized exposure to Figure Aptronics agility before they list. That's crazy, right? We already seen that with robo strategy in the traditional markets. This is why I was very bullish on, I still am on Deuce. I said Deuce, Deus, because that's how they say it, right? If agility's 2.5 billion filing is first, expect a wave of pre-IPO tokenization plays to follow, right? So now getting into the picks of Asai when it comes down to the robotics narrative. First, it has Robo, right? Robo here is explicitly positioned as the coordination layer for robots. That's good. The on-chain picture is mixed. Sex flows of 10K in the last 24 hours and 70% of the supply below cost means distribution is active and sits directly on the robot paying for stuff use case, which is the cleanest machine economy primitive in crypto. Now, we're going to look into that in just a bit, right? Peaq, your interest here. Asai knows everything about me and what I like in crypto. And if you use Asai a lot, you create your portfolio, right? You engage with Asai, it learns about you as well and starts to know about your interests. Every user that signs up for the HQ gets an agent that monitors everything about you and learns about you over time, so it could better help you in your crypto journey, which is why you guys sign up for that HQ. There's nothing like it right now. So your interest here, the purest L1 play for the machine economy, robotics SDK plus incubation hub for robotics DAO. If peaq lands even one of the major humanoid OEMs as a paying customer for its stack, the narrative flips from AI L1 to AWS for physical AI. That's crazy, especially seeing that peaq has said they have some big partnerships down the line that they want to announce very soon. I'm excited. Tau, the dominant AI crypto by mindshare and BTC modeled by tokenomics, right? Robotics overlaps with Tau via subnets doing motion data. We talked about this. Inference, we know inference capital markets is out there. Compute capital markets is out there. So Tau is hitting all the little narratives that it takes to make a successful AI agent or robotics, right? FET, which is your ASI alliance. You guys already know this. This is 90% bullish sentiment. The decentralized AGI trade, 47% of the top 10 concentration and 79.8% of the supply below cost creates a squeeze potential, also dump risk. Less robotic specific than peaq, more open source AGI umbrellas. So this is more training like models and things like that. You could think about it like that to make a open source artificial intelligence model, I guess you could put it. Right now, let's get to the end of it. Pretty much here, the robotics trade is the AI trade that hasn't run yet. I've said that multiple times. We've seen every aspect of AI run. We've seen memory, we've seen chips, we've seen inference, we've seen compute, GPU. Everything tied to AI has ran at some point in time, not just in crypto but also in the traditional markets. AI infrastructure ran in 2025. Tau, Render, Akash. Robotics is the next leg. It's barely priced into any AI tokens right now except peaq. The rotation has not happened. I don't know if they're smart money because I'm positioned. So does that make me smart money? Well, we'll see if it actually does take off, right? So you guys see the breakdown of this entire leg for robotics here, right? Now let's get into some of these altcoins here. I know it's a long video, so we're going to try to speed this up at this point here. I have not talked about geodnet, but a lot of the DePIN guys and robotics people that I know about in crypto have been very bullish on geodnet. I'll be honest, I really wasn't paying attention to geodnet, and this chart has been looking pretty beautiful, right? It's looking pretty good here since the 2023. Now, I knew about this as a DePIN play. I actually was going to get one of their products to just to earn some passive income, as I did with Demo and things like that, right? This has been around for quite some time here, and they just like, this chart has been looking pretty beautiful here, right? So for me right now, looking at this, I'm probably not going to get into it, but I think it has potential here. Its all-time high was over a year ago. It is down 41% from its all-time highs as of right now. That's also with unlocks and things like that. Now, Oct Gems put out this tweet here. Big improvement for anyone using geonet in the field. They just roll out Geo Measure app, right? While the changelog isn't flashy, it fixes one of the biggest frustration with the RTFK workflows, reconnecting and losing after signals. So they put out a big update here recently, not too long ago, and they're building out, as you can see here, the world's largest RTK network, the precision layer for robot economy here, right? Another thing that has recently happened with these guys is actually, you can see DePIN Connection has put out this tweet here. This was a showcase here. So he puts out, imagine a world where your humanoid robot rides to the grocery store in your self-driving vehicle. This sounds too futuristic, guys. It's crazy. Does your grocery shopping and returns back home. Now, Mike Horton describes a scenario where geonet and auki makes this a reality. So potential partnership with geonet and auki, that is getting a little interesting here, right? You can see they're all kind of working with each other to enhance this whole robot DePIN economy right now, right? So that leads us directly right to auki. You guys know auki is building out spatial data, spatial intelligence for your robots, right? Humanoids and things like that. This is big industry. You guys, I keep saying this every time I talk about auki. You guys don't know, Niantic robbed us for the data. They didn't really rob us because we agreed to their, we agreed to their terms and conditions when we downloaded Pokemon Go and started scanning the area looking for Pokemons to catch on our phone. They use that exact data to train their humanoids that they actually got shipped out already. It's not humanoid, sorry. Their little robot here that is delivering food to people, right? So that is centralized spatial intelligence. Auki is doing decentralized spatial intelligence and have shipped their robots to lots of grocery stores not around the world. I think a few countries here have been working with auki here. It's at $22 million market cap. Some people don't like it. The trading volume on auki is actually abysmal. I won't lie to you. $16,000. That is honestly ridiculous for a $22 million market cap altcoin. Hopefully things will change as the narrative starts to heat up, but $16,000, these meme coins under $1 million market cap is having a crazy trading volume on top of that. So that is not too good to see, but a lot more is here. Crypto Insider puts out this tweet. Why would a retail share a map of their store with Google? Retailers guard their store layout like trade secrets. Product placement drives revenue, and nobody is handing that to a centralized provider, right? So think about it. Stores, when you go into stores, their layout, their planogram of their store is set a certain way to have you roam around the store. If you heard, some people found there's a little conspiracy theory on how Walmart makes you stay into Walmart longer because the way they have the store set up. So that's their store's plan, right? Their store, like how they got everything planned out, the planogram and things like that, right? That's a wall that centralized positioning hits immediately. So the real world web sidesteps that entirely. The stores own spatial data. The robots connect and get what it needs. Nobody else needs to be in the middle. So Auki solves a problem that centralized providers simply can't. Retailers won't play ball otherwise. The centralized approach is what makes the whole thing possible. So what is being said right now is because these stores don't want to give the way they have the store planned out to attract the customers, make the customers stay in longer, buy more things. They don't want to give that to a centralized entity because then they could use that across different boards and things like that, and that loses the luster for that store in a certain way and things like that. So you don't want to give all that power to a centralized entity. You need that to be decentralized a little bit more. This is why Auki is building out the centralized spatial computing, the centralized spatial intelligence. Next, we got peaq. Peaq is simple, man. Peaq is simple. You guys know I've put out too many videos on peaq for you to not know what peaq is now. I even put out a recent video on peaq partnering with virtuals. Go check that out. Video in the cards up top. Important. I don't need to dive too deep into this anyways. At $45 million market cap, we damn near 2x from the lows that we got in at it, right? You guys already know I was in a private sale of peaq. I'm buying peaq. There's a potential I'm going to have a crazy bag of peaq going into the bull market here. I'm potentially betting big on peaq as the main player for robotics right now. I'm excited. I'm waiting for them to do something, to announce some big things. You guys can see here, it was at 75 cents a year ago. It is down 97% from its all-time highs, and there's new inflation. They fixed up the tokenomics a little bit. The humanoids that's going to get onboarded to the peaq OS need to get peaq off the open market, meaning they're going to have to bond this peaq off the open market, taking peaq out of circulating supply, things like that. So this is an upside bet for me when it comes down to peaq. Now, as I told you, some of these projects are now partnering with each other, right? You can see a little circle being built here where one project connects to another project, connects to another project, connects to another project. It just keeps going, right? But this now becomes something that you can go ahead and look into. All of these projects are working with each other. That lets us know that a little thing is being built here where you can possibly make a portfolio just based on these projects all partnering with each other. And that means that you're betting all on robotics here and the basket of these plays, and betting that the robotics take off and these partnerships help all of them together. So real robots getting paid for real work. peaq OS payment agnostic by design. RoboPay by Fabric Foundation becomes one of the optional payment rails available to machines running peaq OS. So they're going to be using Fabric Foundation's RoboPay in this whole scenario here. Now, Fabric protocol does look good as the payment infrastructure, payment layer for machines here at a $25 million market cap. FDV out of a $115 million market cap. We're looking at about a 5x difference between the unlocks, and I think the unlocks happen at the end of the year, so that is going to be something to pay attention to. And it is also down 81%. That is going to be a lot more as the unlocks start to happen. So we may have to wait and see how this one is going to play out when it go into the bull market and the unlocks kick off for Robo. Next, let's talk about Ex Machina here, which is Deus here. You guys already know, 21 million market cap here. FDV 21 million. This is great. All the supply is out is what we love to see, and being able to bet for something going forward here. As more robotics come on to the market here, more of them start to IPO, people will start to look more into Deus as like the robotics capital market of the whole robotics narrative. This has the potential to be nice here, right? You guys can see here it's down 68% from just 2 months ago. It recently launched here, so we give this enough time here and we're going to see how this is going to build out here. Next, we do have a micro cap for you guys, which is Robo here, which is pretty much building data compute for robotics here, right? So we're going to see how this one is also going to play out. This full supply is out here. In terms of the robotics narrative, as that robotics narrative takes off, people will start to look into low caps, micro caps, and that is how you're going to be able to front run these guys, by looking into some of these plays as of right now. So this can, let's say robotics narrative gets so hot and people are chasing the whole narrative, this can do a 10x. Obviously it can go lower too, because we're in the bear market here and we're going to see how things play out here. But you guys let me know how you guys feel in the comment section down below. If you guys haven't subscribed already yet, please do so. We on that robot we on that road to 30k subscribers. If you guys want to help out with that, hit that red subscribe button and I'll check you guys later. Peace.